I mean, did you grow up reading? What are the books you read? Who are the authors you follow now?
I definitely read some of everything. I guess like when I was in Bitcoin earlier on, and I obviously followed like math and computer science and so forth closely. I started off in the kind of libertarian Austrian economic space,
Okay.
and then from there I
Like
kind
Hayek
of
and Schumpeter
Hayek,
and-
exactly, and then like broadened my kind of horizons more over those years. Like I understood, like in mainstream economics and social and kind of social science more. I follow like Les Wrong and like Sweetster Codex and rationalist blogs quite a bit. I keep in touch with, or I kind of keep up with like behavioral economics, various kinds of social science outside of economics, and one of the more interesting recent books that I read was Robin Hanson's The Elephant in the Brain,
Okay.
which basically talked about how we deceive ourselves about what our own motives are, and how basically the point, the reason why I found it interesting is that I feel like one of the harder things to reconcile about kind of our models of human nature is that on the one hand, when you go around talking to people, plenty of people seem really, really nice, and almost everyone really seems like a nice person you can have tea with on some level. But then at the same time, World War II killed 65 million people.
That's right.
So how do you kind of combine the macro and the micro? And the story there is that, and The Elephant in the Brain is basically that we have this combination of genuinely altruistic motives, genuinely selfish motives, a lot of random junk in the mix, and we ourselves aren't fully aware of what our motives are, and we even benefit from not being fully aware of what our motives are, because we get to kind of feel the warm glow of being charitable and not even realize that we're doing things that are actually self-serving, and then get the benefit of doing the things that are self-serving. And there's a bunch of really interesting examples. So one of them is the first chapter is basically about how conversations are really not about sharing information so much as they are about showing off how educated and smart you are. Cough, cough, case in point, but no. There's other examples about in religion and
Sure.
kind of even politics and tribal behavior and so forth. I also ended up just kind of learning a lot of this stuff hands-on from personal experience, because if you follow the crypto space, if you follow the Bitcoin block size wars, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, Craig
Human
Wright.
nature at work.
Yeah, exactly. And you basically see the exact same mechanisms happening in traditional politics and in crypto, and then you realize, yep, that's human nature. It's going to be pretty hard to erase that one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.